Happy Friday. Full moon Friday. Leo moon Friday. How are you guys feeling?
Great, cheerful.
Yeah?
Sleepy.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
That's kind of the energy that I've been tapping into a little bit more on this moon cycle. Really just wanting to sleep. The other night I slept, I think first night of this week I slept like 12 hours, which I never sleep 12 hours. Hardly ever. Yeah. Then the last few nights, a little bit less, but really longer sleeps, but intense. Lots of dreaming, a lot more active dreaming going on this week. And some crazy dreams, and I don't usually remember my dreams, but yeah, getting nuts. Yeah, it's some really crazy stuff coming up out of the dream state. Some of it good crazy, some of it a little, yeah. Yeah, freaky. So just recognizing what that is about, and had a couple really interesting ones last night. But I think about what it means to kind of be in this energy of Leo right now, and this full moon, and what we're birthing through this process of the full moon. Different sides of the sign, and I'm pretty aware. Are there any Leos in here? Anybody? So Leo is my opposite fixed sign. I'm an Aquarius. I think that's fixed. I always forget. Fixed or cardinal memory is fixed. And Leo's the opposite sign of mine. So I tend to have a pretty strong association with Leos in my life. And not always positive in terms of a really enjoyable experience, but positive always in terms of showing the mirror of my other self. The mirror of what I need to see to my Aquarius, associations. And I think about the lion and how, prideful it could be, and one of the upsides of the Leo sign is, playful, like a big kitty cat, very assured and confident. Likes to be the center of attention, representative of a king archetype. So there's a lot of that, actor showmanship that goes on with Leo, which can be very attractive. And the negative side of the sign is kind of the stepping over the bounds and being prideful, stubborn, resistant to anything that might challenge it. It's the king of the jungle, the king of the land. And those can be seen as kind of the negative or overbearing sides of a Leo trait. And now we're kind of in this moon energy where, what is that showing up? And then I thought about the third thing is like, well, lions actually sleep like 12 to 14 hours a day. They're one of the laziest beasts. The male, anyways, the male. The females tend to go out and do the hunting and take care of the bride and raise the children. It's the male lion that tends to be, that doesn't have to do too much. Protect the pride, that's important, But for the most part, just pretty much lounge around and let everything else kind of be taken care of. And so I think I've been tapping very much into that. Let me just lay around and be lazy and let everybody else do their thing. I'm going to sleep a lot this week and kind of reserve my energies for something else that's coming around the bend. And I think in a lot of ways that is kind of what's happening. I have talked to a lot of people saying that this week they've been really, the energies have been a little bit more intense. There's been some thickness, some heaviness to it. And things are showing up, like some underscores. I won't go into all the aspects of all the planetary things that are going on. This is not necessarily an astrology class or a lesson or anything like that. But I pay attention to them. Why do I pay attention to them? Because it's all about energy. It goes back to the conversation. What is it all about? What are these planetary movements doing when they move through a certain area? You know, and if you just kind of listen to the universe, and if you listen to what's going on with you internally, you can connect certain dots about what's happening. One of the other wonderful traits about the energies of this moon is that it's calling us to step into our power. If you think about a lion or a lioness and how strong that animal, that archetype is, that when it comes to hunting or defending or taking care of what needs to be taken care of, they're very much not afraid to do what they need to do. And a lot of us have been sitting on kind of precipices, if you would, of what it is that we need to do or what it is that we need to let go in order to receive and go where we need to go. And for me, it's been really, really interesting to see what's showing up in my dreams. One of the most interesting ones that I had last night was the last one I had right before I woke up this morning, where I was teaching a yoga class. And it was like in one of these big LA Fitness or, you know, the Rush, you know, it was a big gym, like a conglomerate. A place that I would never typically see myself teaching, not like that. And I don't even remember the kind of yoga it was, but I do remember that we started out with a group of people, maybe 10, and it kept growing as the class was going on. And I didn't know how to deal with people injecting themselves into class after we've gone, okay, well, you know, here's where we are, just catch up. And next thing you know, we kind of overgrew the space where we were, and then we had to move into another space. And there was a conflict with another group that was coming in. So now the class was like in a huge gymnasium, and I had half the class over on one side and the other class over here, and people were kind of not confused about where to go, and then another group of kids, I think, came in screaming and yelling, wanting to play basketball. I was just like, what the heck is going on here? I just want to do a yoga class. And somehow I managed to pull everyone together, where I just finally stomped my foot on the ground and said, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. You guys go over there, take care of that, you know, get out of the way. All you yoga people, get your butts over here. And by the way, stop looking that way, I'm over this way. And really just taking control and charge of the situation. Because there was a part of me in the dream that wanted to run away and run away fast.
You are a unicorn.
Thank you. But also what I felt was to have the courage to be able to, if I'm creating something, whether it's a yoga class or a Qigong class, and yeah, sometimes the frustration is that there may be not as many people as show up, but then there's this overwhelming energy that is coming where, you know, I may expect 3 or 4 and, you know, it turns into 10, 15. And eventually the energy is moving into the direction for all of us right now to really take control of what it is that we want to see in our life. And to stand in that power right now. To get ready for it. Because when we decide to step into the big space, ready to receive what it is, it could be anything. And it could be everything that we do. And then what? Well, we have to be able to adapt and be able to move into the confidence of holding that space. The wherewithal and the direction to direct what it is that needs to go on within the energy of that space. The willingness to stick it through even when it might get a little crazy. And to not, I think, go beyond the bounds of arrogancy, pride, claiming anything more than what is. okay, in my space, in that dream, was a convergence of energies all coming together wanting to do things on this planet. And how do we organize and move among the space together so that we can all achieve what it is we're here to achieve? And that's no easy task. It's why we have countries, nations at war. Because I think if they step over the line of pride and prejudice, this is mine, there's not enough room, there's not enough space for you. Go find your own, get out of here. Or others that want to take what doesn't belong to them. We don't have enough. Both of them consist of the energy of lack, the energy of limits. And we're moving through a phase right now where the energy of lack and the energy of limits just doesn't work anymore. There's great abundance going on. I think it's part of the reason why a lion can lie around for 12, 14 hours a day. There's certainly an abundance of sleep. And what will be provided will be provided. But when it's time to step up, when it's time to step into the energy of what is it that you're going to do right now, and let go and really kind of work through some of these things that are holding us back. We'll talk about the other two dreams. They were pretty, one was pretty darn nasty, scary to me, actually. If I looked at it in a certain way. But then I can look at myself in it and say, wow, I actually moved through that pretty brave. I have some ideas and things about what I think it means. But that's also about paying attention to what's going on within, listening, doing that whole listening process of what's happening. And maybe people are just sleeping in today, and that's okay. Everybody who shows up is riding free. Whenever they do, however they do, and for whatever reason.